Hey Internet, welcome to Thermodynamics tutorial. This is a made-up question not found in your textbooks. So we want to find the density of air at 7,000 meters above altitude or at altitude for part A. And for part B, we want to find the mass of the air with the radius at 6,377 kilometers. With the atmosphere extending 25 kilometers above the surface. We assume Earth is a perfect sphere. Alright, so step 1, draw your free body diagram. They also give us the table for us to work out the equation. I personally think this question is pretty tough for a first year student, but we're going to solve it anyways. So step 1, draw your free body diagram, your FBD. This will help you visualize the problem. So we've got a certain elevation and we want to find the density of air, and we also want to find the mass of the air. Alright, so I'm going to give two approaches for A and B. So the first approach is just my way. And then approach 2 is the old school professor way of doing things. They're both valid, but you'll see one is nice and one is not. Okay, so the first step is, or the second step rather, normally in this step you would be writing down the given values and then writing down the unknown. And then step 3 you would figure out the formula. However, we're going to do it a little bit backwards. We're going to plug this into either MATLAB, Excel, or you can code in Python or in another language of your choosing. And then we're going to find the line of best fit. Then we're going to find the equation. And the software is going to do it for us. So we don't have to do the heavy lifting. The software will do it for us. Okay, so what I did is I coded in Python, as you can see with this graph. And we've got the line of best fit, which gives us the equation, which is given right here. So that's 1.225 times the exponential of the negative 0.1479 multiplied by z. Z being this case, it is 7,000 meters, which is equal to 7 kilometers. And the density of air at 7 kilometers is 0.4350 kilograms per meter cubed. I know the graph says it's 0.5375, so I had to double check that, and I think the graph is a approximation versus the, as you can see, I'm running Python right now, so as you can see, so at 7 kilometers it is 0.435 kilograms per meter cubed. Okay, so that just confirms that answer, and the graph is probably an approximation. Alright, so the main thing is actually just getting the line of best fit. Knowing the curve is a decreasing exponential curve is helpful. However, just finding the formula is sufficient to answer the question. But understanding the graph is also important. Okay, so that is my approach, approach 1. Now, there's also other graphs that is important to understand, but not really relevant for this question. The question is already solved right here. Okay, so approach 2. So professor / wiki / textbook way. That looks kind of mean, right? It doesn't look very nice. So the professor way is they probably took it from Excel and they're using the quadratic way. So it's not as cool, or it's not as nice, and they get a similar like equation, but it just seems a little bit more difficult. And they get 0.6 for their density of air, so that is 0.6 kilograms per meter cubed, when the elevation Z is at 7 kilometers, that is. So I guess it's up to you whether you choose the approach 1, which is my way, or approach 2, which is the professor way. And expecting a first year to figure out this is, I guess, a little bit mean. Like, if you didn't do it my way, you would be, I would say most first year students would struggle to figure it out. But, I mean, it's doable. But, yeah, it's a little bit mean, I think. Okay, so part B. We need to integrate in order to find the mass of the air. So this is the equation. So where did we get this? So the approach is that it is a perfect sphere. So we know that formula for that. And then we have the density that we figured out previously over here. And then from there, they also give us the radius of Earth plus the elevation. And since it is a sphere, and since we have a changing elevation of 0 to 25 kilometers, I believe, yeah. So in part B, they said that it extends to 25 kilometers. So that means we start at ground zero, or sea level, and then we slowly rise to 25 kilometers. Okay, so that's why we need to integrate, because we are approaching 25. Okay, so our upper limit is 25 kilometers, our lower limit is 0. So this is what we get. So how did we get from here to here? Alright, so we'll go through the steps of integration, because this is a first year question, which again, it's pretty mean-spirited to give this to a first year student to solve, as most first year students may have taken calculus, or maybe taking calculus in first year engineering. Okay, so I'm going to assume that first year students are watching this, first year university students, but I will try and explain it as if it is a high school problem. So first of all, we start off with this original equation, which is just this, but just shortened. And then from there, we know that the density with respect to the radius is that, so that's what that is. And then we've got the change in volume, dV. Okay, so they're just explaining what the formula is here right now. And we know that dV is given by this formula. How do you know this formula? This is from high school, I believe. Maybe your high school taught it. So you've got your r squared. Everyone knows that one. Then you've got your sine theta. You got your dr, which is your change in radius. And then you got your d theta. So that's your polar angle. And you've got your azimuth or azimuthal angle. So those ones may not be as common in high school, but definitely r squared sine theta you would probably be more familiar in high school. Okay, so that's the spherical coordinates, and you would probably learn that in calculus as well. Okay, so now that we've got all our values assigned and defined, we can now substitute that into the equation, which looks like this. So step 2, we integrate over the angular components, so the d stuff. So it simplifies to this. Sine theta d theta is equal to 2. So we integrating phi from 0 to 2 pi, and we're integrating over theta from 0 to pi. Y 2 pi and pi. So that is your radius, I believe. Okay. So, did I misspeak? I think 2 pi and pi is your radians. Sorry, not radius. Although it is related to radius, it is your radians. I apologize. As you can see, it is quite late. Alright, so next we've got this integration for phi, and we've got the integration for theta. Alright, cool. So next up, we will have the angular factor. So the formula becomes this. So basically, when we integrated, we just got rid of the phi and theta, and since our limit is 2 pi, we are left with 2 pi. So they got 4 pi here because we've got 2 here and we've got 2 pi here, so you just add them together. I hope you are following. Alright, and this is the nice approach, by the way. So now we express the radius in terms of elevation. So now we're gonna get the z involved. So it looks like this. So basically we just substitute it in for r squared. That's what they're doing. Alright, so apply the density model. So now we're going to substitute the density into the equation. So this is rho, so they just substitute rho with the equation. Okay, and now you're ready to solve. So by solving, you will get a mass of 4.128 times 10 to the power of 15 kilograms. And that's the nice approach, approach 1. So that's nice and easy, all laid out for you. We got approach 2. Once again, that's the professor / textbook / old school way of doing things. It looks horrible, and yeah, I wouldn't expect many students to do it this way. But you could do it this way if you really wanted to. Basically, they're doing the triple integration with a quadratic. And saying it just sounds so evil. Alright. You would get a similar answer with a slight variance. So they've got plus 10 to the 18 kilograms. We've got plus 10 to the 15. So there is some discrepancy depending on which method you use. and that just comes down to the exponential versus the quadratic way of doing things. This way doesn't look nice to solve. It can be done because you got all the variables, but yeah, it looks pretty terrible, I'm going to be honest, and that's why I dislike the professor way of doing things. So I gave you my way and I gave you their way. So with my way, it's step by step. With their way, I didn't try to do it by step because that just looks kind of awful to do. Yeah, you could plug that into MATLAB or Python and let it solve, and yeah, you could do it that way. So I just given you two options just in case you do have an old school professor that wants to do it this way. I hope not. Just do it the modern, easy way. And yeah, I mean, my way is pretty much the more, I would say, the preferred method. One, because I wrote out the steps for you, but moreover, it's just nice. Like, this way, it just makes sense. If you're gonna use the exponential way of integrating. Okay, so before we leave, I highly encourage you to save this video onto your PC. And before you even do that, disclaimers. The method is correct. However, I do make calculation mistakes. I encourage you to solve it yourself and see if you get the same answers. Alright, so moving on to saving the video. For those of you that are familiar with Snipping Tool, you're good to go. You know what to do. For those that have never used Snipping Tool before, you can find it in your taskbar. If not taskbar, then it'll be in your Windows search. Just type in Snipping Tool. And from there, follow the steps below. If you're using Mac, just use your Mac equivalent. Okay, so click on the video option. Click on New. Left click, drag the rectangle to cover the YouTube screen. This is just an example. Hit the start button, wait for the countdown. Hit the replay button, let the video finish. Hit the red square to stop recording, and then Control S to save your video. Alright, so like and subscribe. If you want to support me, become a member or drop a super thanks. Share with your friends, because this is a made up question and they won't be able to find it. And if you're a first year student, you would probably be struggling with this as well. So take care of your friends. Alright. Until next time. See ya.